Hey fandom, it's me Aaron for Comic Show. It's this week. There's some good books. It's kind of like a calm before the storm of next week, which is The Button first part, the Batman 21, and Secret Empire 0, which I read and am very excited about. And Secret Empire, I think a lot of people are going to like it. I think they are. I liked it a lot, and yes, Captain America's Hydra. But in the last issue of Captain America, he made it clear that, in dialogue and in action, that the Nazis hijacked Hydra, and he's getting rid of the Nazi element of Hydra because Hydra is good, right? I mean, Hydra is everything. So whatever. It's a well-written story. It's well-drawn. All the craziness was awesome. Just the different levels of machinations that Steve Rogers has running concurrently. And I'm just going to use big words this whole time. But anyway, it was good. I was shocked at how much I liked it when I just thought, it's an issue 0, and I'm not that thrilled about it. But now I'm on board. Last week's big deal, was X-Men Gold, with a team led by Kitty Pryde. And I don't know if you've been on the internet since last week, but the artist, he hid some Islamic messages in here that are controversial. It's not just like, like if you hid Christian messages, it's not like saying John 3:16, like God loves the world and Jesus loves you or something. It'd be more like putting the messages about, Leviticus, about gays being an abomination or something. It's a verse that's translated that means that Christians and Jews are wrongdoers that shouldn't be trusted, and they shouldn't be your allies, and they certainly shouldn't be your leaders. It's the gist I got from it. And I went to some trusted sources like G. Willow Wilson and whatnot. So obviously that's not a good message to put into the X-Men, and it's not professional for an artist to put in his own personal, political, or religious agenda secretly, covertly into a story that is owned by a company, is done by a whole team. The writer himself is Jewish. The X-Men were created by Jews. Work on a different book, man. But anyway, we think he got fired. I don't know. He says his career's over. I think he could probably still work for some other publishers, but probably not Marvel or DC. But anyway, this book's on fire now. And hot off of X-Men Gold is X-Men Blue. And I looked all over for any hidden messages. I couldn't find any, other than I'm really trying to figure out who these guys are. They're time-tossed teens of the original X-Men, and it came from Bendis' run. And when Adult Beast tried to put them back, he couldn't put them back. And then when they went back in time and saw themselves, they were still there, even though they're here. How are they still there? And the present hasn't changed. There hasn't been any Back to the Future, Timequake weirdnesses. And these guys have changed themselves. Like if Angel went back now, he would have flame wings, which he didn't then. And Beast is more and more and more like a dark Beast version. He's into mysticism more, and it's turning a little dark. I don't think it's possible that they could be from the Age of Apocalypse universe, although, that would be awesome because there wasn't a Professor Xavier X-Men in that backstory. I think I remember Legion killing Professor Xavier and Magneto forming the X-Men. So I don't know where they're from, but I want to find out now. It's way more awesome than just they were pulled out from our past and now they don't want to go back. It's cooler than that. And I know everyone knows Magneto is leading them. So that's kind of cool. So actually, I didn't even think of that. With Kitty Pryde leading Gold and Magneto leading Blue, there's Jewish people leading both X-Men teams. So go Jewish people. Awesome. But anyway, X-Men Blue, Cullen Bunn did a great job. I'm excited about it. They fight Juggernaut. They fight Black Cassidy. It has a nostalgic feel while being modern and moving forward. I'm on board. They set the table well. I'm ready for more X-Men. And then moving on to Greg Pak's Weapon X with Greg Land on art. This is basically X-Force. It's basically Uncanny X-Force, or an X-Force, the baddest of badasses being badasses. I mean, schnickety schnick, lots of guns and knives and claws and all that. That's these characters. And they're taking on the ones that are going to be trying to kill mutants again. So they're not Sentinels, but they're trying to kill them, and these guys are on the case. And I always liked X-Force. I always liked it when they got a little bit more hardcore, defending the dream, more extreme measures, and that's that book, so there it is. Black Panther and the Crew #1, it's cool. It's an idea that was ahead of its time before when they did the Crew and it was short-lived. Now I think it's time, and I dug it. I like Misty Knight a lot. She's basically the central character. I don't want to say leader because the team isn't formed yet in this first issue, but she is definitely the central character in this issue, and it's Luke Cage, Black Panther, Storm, and the Manifold guy, Eden, the teleporter from the X-Men. It's cool, it's topical, it's very political with this issue. She is a someone in law enforcement in a way. Sure, that's her people, but things are happening to, the Black Lives Matter stuff. It's in there, so it is political, but it was also intriguing and cool. It's not heavy-handed like, this is how you should vote, this is how you should feel about these political issues. This is what would happen if there were people with superpowers and technology that the Marvel Universe has with these issues. So that's cool. I enjoyed it. Deadpool versus Punisher, shoot 'em up. It's just shoot 'em up. Van Lente is funny. He has them go after each other. Punisher is kicking ass and taking names, and Deadpool is being funny. So if that does anything for you, check it out. It delivered on what I expected from it, and I expect hilarity from Van Lente, and it's definitely an odd couple. So it's great in the same vein as a lot of those Deadpool verses. He's a great character to bounce off of, and more of that. So if you like that, it's more of that. And Spider-Man is cool. The Osborn identity is heating up. You have the Superior Octopus, Superior Doc Ock, Hydra related, and Silver Sable is back. So a lot of things going on, and I'm excited in how Spider-Man is going to interact with the whole Secret Empire thing. Like he always gets messed up in the middle of things, back to Civil War and all that. And the second volume of Steve Rogers is out, which also leads into Secret Empire by Nick Spencer. And Nick Spencer's The Fix Volume 2 is here. And The Fix is very funny, very reverent, and it's about two crooks, two grifters, two thieves that are also cops. So they can do the crime and then investigate their own crime. So what could go wrong there? Nick Spencer, he's fun. And Steve Lieber on art, I love them together. They're a great team, and I liked them when they did the Deadly Foes of Spider-Man, so it's good. No superpowers though, not in this one. Moving on with Image, Rat Queens 2, more funny, more Cat Kings, and the art's great. I'm digging it. So it's just like before, except the art is on point. It feels sort of like the same flavor of the original artist. So there's that. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad it's coming out on time. 7 to Eternity, this is issue 5 by Rick Remender. It's the first issue after Volume 1. Volume 1's $10, and this book, I talked extensively about it every issue and the first volume. So if you're getting it, issue 5 is here, first one after it. And American Gods, Dark Horse, Neil Gaiman. P. Craig Russell, very wordy, very dense. It came from a prose novel, obviously. It's going to be a series very soon on Stars. I got Stars just for that. It's my favorite book, prose novel by Neil Gaiman, and it's definitely worth getting. I read it a long time ago, and in my head, the characters looked how they looked in my head. I'm digging Russell's art on it, and it is very dense. It is a story worth the $4 in those pages, so check that out. And moving on, the weirdest pick of this week, Spencer and Locke. It is Action Labs, and the tagline is, his partner's imaginary, but the danger's all real. And this is Calvin and Hobbes. This is Calvin and Hobbes all grown up and being a private investigator. It's badass. I really enjoy it. Yes, it's a gimmick, and yes, gimmicks are cool, you know, like, but they're also could fall flat if you rely just heavily on the gimmick itself. You need a hook, you need something to get noticed as a independent creator-owned book, especially when you haven't built a name for yourself yet. But I've read the first 3 issues of this. The guys sent them to me in PDF. I really, really liked it. I was a big Calvin and Hobbes fan. I read it, you know, every time, every day, and then it was out of my life. He was done. That's it. You know, all I saw was just Calvin, for some reason, peeing on numbers of NASCAR things the driver of that car didn't like, unlicensed stickers. But this is mature reader. It's bloody, shit ton of violence, and yes, his partner is still a friggin' stuffed animal. And with the 3rd issue, you have some of that spaceman spiff going on. So it's good. Check it out. If you're a fan of Calvin and Hobbes, I do not think you'll be disappointed. And then DC stuff. This is the Action Comics Part 1 after Reborn, and it starts filling in some of those questions we have of this united Superman and this unified Superman past. Well, how does that all work? You know, the crystals are here, and he's seeing the crystals in his Fortress of Solitude and filling this in. So this issue was a lot of fill-in, but I was happy with how Rebirth ended, and I liked it. And Volume 2 of Batman's out. I Am Suicide leads into I Am Bane. It comes out of I Am Gotham, and goes into Button. So yeah, they dropped that after I Am Bane, but I really enjoyed this. I liked the Catwoman stories a lot. If you like the first volume, I think the second volume is better. And then finally for DC, DK3 Master Race, book 8 is out in the hardcover, and 9 is coming out in a few weeks. I've already FOC'd it, it's coming, and the 9 hardcover comes with a slipcase. Like, it's in the slipcase, and it has a bunch of, like a foam and a bunch of blank space for you to slip in all your other ones. So anyone buying the book 9 of the hardcover will get that slipcase, and then if they don't have the previous ones, they can just hunt them down and put them in and pretend like they had it all along. So surprisingly, I've liked this way better than Volume 2. I like it. Azzarello's great though. Frank Miller, you know, whatever. Azzarello's great. And that's the week that is. If you can grab a copy of X-Men Gold on the shelf somewhere for cover price, do it now, because the subsequent printings are going to be different. They're going to remove that. And yes, it's going to go up in price with speculators and all that. But I like the story. I liked X-Men Blue. Give X-Men a shot. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.